the girls, let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends, girl. You.
Hi guys, it's Precious Bria. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Love is Blind Season 7, Episode 1 and 2. I did partially watch some of Episode 3, so I'm going to try not to talk about what I saw in Episode 3. But yeah, so starting off, you know that we get to just meet a bunch of different people. I'm going to talk about the people that stood out to me. I'm going to talk about the people that I liked. And yeah. So starting off, we're going to talk about Ashley. Saw Ashley, immediately loved Ashley. I think Ashley is gorge before she even spoke. And yeah, I just immediately liked Ashley. And then I saw Tyler. And I think that Tyler is handsome, and I think that Ashley and Tyler are going to be a super cute couple. I honestly like getting to know more about them. I think that they're going to be a good fit. I didn't really see any red flags, and honestly, that kind of, it's a positive thing, but it's going to be interesting to see how they interact. Because literally I didn't see any, I'm trying to think, I didn't see any red flags between these two. Okay, nope. Okay, so with Tyler was having a conversation with some of the men when they were back in whatever room that was, the men's quarters. And he was basically saying how in the real world he wouldn't have been able to open himself up because he just wasn't ready for dating. So it concerns me because it's like when you get into a real life situation, even though we know that this is an experiment technically, and you know, when they go on the honeymoon and then when they move into those apartments, it's not going to be like real life. At the same time, I want to be sure that he's going to actually try, and when they get into the real world, that he doesn't immediately fall back into his old routines, because it's giving he's used to like these situationships and he isn't really a relationship guy. And so that transition can be difficult for people. And so if he's actually trying when they get to that point, I hope that Ashley has the patience if he's trying and if his intention is to actually get married. But I'm really interested to see how their relationship is going to evolve. So moving on to Nick D. Nick D seems to be very flirty. Nick D knows what to say. He's very smooth. I think Nick D is okay looking. I think the girls are unsure about Nick D because Nick D just gives off strong player vibes. And I think in the real world, that would have been, or that is his advantage, like him being a smooth talker and him being kind of cute and, you know, just knowing what to say, him, you know, knowing what to say, when to say it and stuff like that. In the real world, that's definitely going to be an advantage. I think in here it comes off as, you know, he's a fuck boy. And is he a fuck boy? I would say, I think in real life he is. I'm going to talk freely. And I'm going to say that Hannah is not conventionally attractive. It's not because Hannah is not a size 2 either, but it's because Hannah's just not really, you know, she's not really cute. She's not really cute. And I think because she isn't super cute, her past dating experiences have been not the best. That's what we'll say. Her past dating experiences haven't been so positive. And I think that she's been in a lot of situations where maybe guys didn't want to take her serious. Now, I'm getting this all based off of her insecurities that's showing when it comes to Nick D. I think that she feels like, you know, if you're in high school and you have a football player and then you have the cheerleader, usually they date. The football player doesn't go for, you know, the nerd. I don't really think that, I don't remember what she does, but yeah, it doesn't really go for the nerd. Hannah is also the girl that quit her job to go on the show. Now, I think when she said it, I think she wanted to say it like, I want to find love so bad that I quit my job. I don't really know if I don't know if I'm eating that up. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know how to feel about it. It's something to me off about Hannah. Don't really like her. Hannah. It's something off about Hannah to me. And I think that, in my opinion, is a red flag, because when you go back into especially in this economy now, this was recorded some months ago, but even then, I just feel like, 26, I wouldn't have quit my job to go on a dating show. Now, if you have other motives, then that makes sense, but, I don't really think it would be worth it. And the truth is, a lot of these relationships don't last. 95% of them are not even going to last until the end of the show. Okay, so they damn sure don't last in real life. And when you go into the real world and now it's like, okay, like it's time to go to work, what you gonna say? And I was waiting for them to show her telling the people. She never told the people, the guys that she was dating, I am unemployed. And does that define you? No. It does not define you. You being unemployed does not define you. But what is very telling is you quitting your job to be on a television show. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, whatever. But another thing that I didn't like about Hannah, and this is probably why I don't like about Hannah, when she was having the conversation with Nick, and even when she was speaking with Leo, I feel like in the beginning, she was kind of insinuating that she was conventionally attractive. And then at the end, her insecurity started to really show. And then it was kind of like, well, I'm not a Victoria's Secret model. Now you're trying to be honest. Because she's not, well, maybe... Y'all know what she means. She's not skinny. She's not like super conventionally attractive. And let's make this clear. I don't think like she's the ugliest thing, but I just don't think she's that cute for real. So I think if you have to, Hannah would be somewhere in between like an and like a okay. She's okay. She's okay. Underwhelming is what I wrote down. Underwhelming. Hannah is underwhelming. So, that's just my opinion, but we'll see what happens between this little love triangle of Nick D, Hannah, and Leo. And I also think that they're going to be very shocked when they see her. I think they're going to be very shocked. But she seems like a cool girl. I mean, all of that aside. And we have Mr. Leo. Don't like him. I don't like him. Something is off about Leo. At first, I was like, okay, Leo got some money. When he first brought it up, I was like, okay, Leo, you got some money. He's telling people how he's an art dealer, and he's telling people how he inherited this business from his family and how he got this other money after his, whole family died. And then, then he starts showing, I got a Rolex. I didn't even realize, and he keeps talking about it. He's talking about it. And I'm like, okay, you said it the first time we heard you. And this may be editing, but then you said it again, and then you said it again, and then you said it again. And I'm like, okay, now it's giving you're trying to portray something, and in you trying to portray whatever you're trying to portray, it's giving you're broke. It's giving you don't have no money. It's giving you don't have no money. It could have been editing. This is me trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. It could have been editing. He could have just... it could have came up naturally in conversations. So him and Brittany end up having a conversation that I feel is very important. And it's basically about finances. When it comes to finances, when you're in a relationship, how do you think that the bills should be split up? He goes, well, I don't believe that I should be paying all of the bills. I believe that a woman should be contributing. But if I'm making more money than you, then clearly I'm going to contribute more than you contribute. I think... And she said a lot of the other guys said 50-50. So I think if you had to choose between 50-50 or somebody who's like, well, I'll pay more because I make more. I mean, I would assume that any smart woman would be like, let me go with that person. I pay less. What I will say is, again, I just feel like, it ain't tricking if you got it. And we all know that just because you have money doesn't necessarily mean that you're generous. And then you have men that are just generous. I just feel like it ain't tricking if you got it. If you got it, why you don't want to pay? Broke men have arguments about give me back my $5 that I loaned you. You know, that's what broke men do. And it's not, I think he's poor. That's what I'm saying. All of that summed up is I think he's poor. I could be wrong. I could be so wrong. But something in my spirit is telling me that man don't have no money. And he may not be homeless poor, but it's definitely not, it's not giving rich. It's not giving well off. It's damn sure not giving wealthy. It's giving, it's giving you're poor. And I know, and when he said art dealer at first, I was like, he making money. And then he said he inherited the business. I was like, oh yeah. He getting to that, yeah. But then it's everything else afterwards that I was like, this is a poor man. And the Rolex is fake. Listen to it. Is it ticking? Tick, tick. The Rolex is fake. It might not be fake. It could be real. Who knows? Anyway. So we know that Leo was stuck in between Brittany and Hannah. I don't like how he's handling the situation. Is he being a complete douchebag? He isn't. He is not. What I will say is, is he poor? Or in my notes I think Leo is poor. Or is he just a douchebag? So is he poor, or is he just like, he just wants to flaunt his wealth? Which is also a possibility, which is why I'm saying I'm leaning more towards he's poor or having financial hardships as opposed to, him having money. Another thing is I also think that Leo isn't conventionally attractive, and so he may be one of those type of men that throw money at you and then get upset because it's like, you're using me for money, because he knows that he's, not cute. So I don't know. It could go both ways. Leaning more towards poor though. Something in my spirit telling me it's not giving wealth. And moving on to, I said, so he likes Brittany, he likes Hannah. Interesting choices, very different women. Brittany, I like Brittany. I think Brittany is super cute. I like that she's bubbly. I like that she thinks that she's a trophy wife but doesn't cook. Oh, I guess trophy wives are the ones that are just pretty. Okay, she's a trophy wife. I like that. I think it's funny that she talks about all of the football players that she used to date. And, but she wants something real now. I don't know what the hell she said, but I like Brittany. Okay? And I hate that. I feel like ugly Leo is just dogging her out. I won't say ugly. I will say funny looking Leo is dogging her out low key. Like, and she's handling it like so gracefully. I mean, shout out to Brittany. Do I think that Brittany came on here for clout? I absolutely think Brittany came on here for clout. But she's cute to look at. And she comes off really sweet, and she could possibly really want love. Yeah. So, and I also feel like she contradicted herself. I think she was asking men about the financial thing, like she asked Leo. That's what we got to see on TV, but she did speak about her having conversations about it with other people, and then that's where the 50-50 thing came up. I think she wants to be taken care of. I think that she's used to men seeing how beautiful she is and saying, I want to take care of you. You don't got to do nothing. You be a pretty, pretty princess. I love that for her. And I don't think that is going to work with any of these men, because if he's talking about 50-50 and he's talking about 80-20, and we all know that I think he's broke, it's just not giving. And I think if he chooses Brittany, which I hate that they're giving him a choice, but I guess this is the show. If he does choose Brittany, I think that he's going to be intimidated with how gorgeous she is, and that's going to be a problem. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know who he chose yet. I didn't get that far. Now let's move into Garrett. Garrett, very underwhelming. He said that he hasn't been dating because he's been focused on his career. I also do not think that Garrett is, I also don't think Garrett is super cute. But I think that Garrett and who did he end up with? Tyler and Taylor. I think that Garrett and Taylor, I think they're cute together. I do. I think Taylor is super cute. I like that Taylor didn't want to share her ethnicity, but I do think that it's a red flag the way that, at this point, I thought it was a red flag the way that he was like, he didn't seem like, he wasn't super concerned, but just the way he went about it, and he was like, so you're not going to tell me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, what? And then he's only dated white women. I'm just like, that could be, when it comes to mixing like cultures together, you know, it can be an epic fail. It can be an epic fail. So, I don't know. Now, what I will say is I'm skipping ahead. This is in episode 2, but you know, they did clean him up for the proposal. They cleaned him up. And I thought it was so freaking cute. I think this was episode 2 too, maybe not. I think it's so cute how he did that. Are you my girlfriend? Can you be my girlfriend? I thought that was so cute. And then he wrote the little note. I was like, Garrett, stop. And then they had the little moment where she read the little letters. It was cute. And then they was crying, and then he proposed. I was like, oh my gosh. I thought that was so cute. Like, that is going to be a story to tell. You know? Super cute. Well, the whole show was going to be a story to tell, but that specific moment was super cute. And yeah, I don't got much to say about that. We'll see how that goes out. We know that Marissa is in a little bit of a triangle. She's in a love triangle with Bowden, and then she's in a love triangle with the other guy. I can't remember his name. And I personally think that she's leading towards Bowden. I think that she likes him the most, and I think that she's stringing along. What is his name? Hold on. Rams. She's stringing along Rams, and it sucks because Rams he seems to have really great energy. What I will say about Rams is he has an interesting look. Wouldn't be my type personally, but you know, to each its own. Okay, there is a Tim. Okay, and I want to talk about Tim. So when Tim was talking to Alexandra, he said something in my opinion, that was really alarming. Basically, he was talking about how he was like, I'm a dog, or, you know, I want somebody that's going to bite back. And Alexandra is giving very much so in her feminine energy. She don't want to be fighting with you. What is this? What do you think this is? For me, that would have been a really big red flag, and I would have wanted to digest that. And the reason why I would want to digest that is the last thing that you want is for a man, as a woman, is for a man to need for you to have this strong, aggressive energy in order for him to, like, get in line, because it's giving that you are going to be snappy with me and you need somebody that's going to be like, no. And people don't always want to be like that. Like, I don't really like that. To me, that's a turn off. Is if a man comes into my life and, you know, some days I am a little moody, some days I am a little snappy, but I prefer a calm, cool, and collected guy as opposed to somebody that I got to buck up at. Because I don't really like that. I don't really want to argue. I don't want to argue. Even though I do enjoy, and we can debate about things, right? We can talk about politics. We can talk about whatever little stupid topic is on social media. We can disagree. You know, we can go a little back and forth as a kiki. But I'm not about to sit here and really, because that's a simple debate. That's a disagreement. We can talk that out like two adults. But I don't want to argue with nobody. And him saying bite back and him saying he's a dog, that gave aggressive, and I don't like that. So I thought that was a red flag, but she kind of was like taken aback, but she didn't really dig deep and figure out like what's going on. So I hope that it's the same thing. Monica did the same thing. She was having a conversation with Steven. Monica was talking to somebody, and basically she made the comment about, he was talking about how it was Steven. They were having a conversation about relationships and how, you know, in the past they've been attracted to flaws. And I get that, right? Sometimes you are attracted to flaws, but you don't, the way she said it sound crazy. Not attracted to flaws, but sometimes you don't realize it's a flaw. This is me trying to make it positive. I'm assuming that what they mean is sometimes at the time you don't realize it's a flaw, you think it's a good thing, and so you end up falling in love with that quality only to realize, you know, they're a monster. Here you are, you met this man, you thought he was protective, next thing you know he's beating your ass, right? He's just aggressive, he doesn't know how to handle his emotions. So that's the more positive side, in my opinion. But yeah, so these girls need to be careful, and I feel like they're not digging deep into the red flags, but maybe they're not red flags to them. Who else do I want to talk about? So we can go back to Hannah. We know in the last, well, I think in the beginning of this episode, or maybe the end of the last episode, she basically broke up with Nick B. She feels like he's on a different level than what she is. Which I don't know why she feels like that. I feel like if he's on the show, he's in for the experiment. Girl, go for it. Why not? And I think she really likes him, but she's stopping herself because she's like, I don't want to get hurt. And she said that, and I 100% believe that that's what it is. I think she likes him a lot. She likes Nick B more. And I think that she wants to be in a situation where the guy likes her more than she likes him. And so that's why she's going with Leo. So Leo, she may not say that Leo is her second choice, but Leo is her second choice. And then moving on to Mr. Leo. Leo says that he's falling in love with Brittany, but then again, Brittany was her number 2 prior to a specific conversation, and now he has 2 number 1s. So I think, again, Leo is playing the fence. He's playing with the girls, and he doesn't know what he wants or who he wants. He's trying to figure out, you know, who can I use to keep up this lie that I got money long enough. So we'll see. And I feel so bad for Brittany because I feel like Brittany has been so vulnerable, allegedly. She's been so vulnerable. She's been pouring her heart out to Leo, and, you know, he's just stepping on it. He's like, this is garbage. Let me step on this piece of shit. That's how it That's how it feels. And we move on to Garrett and Taylor. We know that in this episode, they do get engaged, and they end up having these very serious conversations about like kids and marriage and, you know, timelines. And I think that I told you, I thought that their story was like super cute, and I'm super excited to see where it's going to go. And then I wanted to quickly talk about Stefan. Stefan pissed me off. Stefan was like, I grew up, and this entire time I thought I was Italian, but I'm not Italian. I'm West African. Now, I don't know if y'all up to date, but 23andMe, they got some fishy stuff going on, and they being sued or something like that. And so all of those ancestry stuff like that is giving, they don't really know, because that clearly looks like a Caucasian man. I can't wait to see when my fave couple, right now my favorite couple is 100% Ashley and Tyler. And I want to see their proposal because I just know it's going to be super cute. I know they're going to eat it up for the girls. And then you got, who the hell was he talking to? He was talking to somebody, and the girl that he was talking to, let me see. I know what she looks like. She's like, yeah, I went through the same thing. Because, you know, my mom and my dad, they're from Monica. So he's having a conversation with Monica, and she's like, yeah, because my mom and my dad, they're both from Honduras, but they're an interracial couple. Okay. And then she's like, oh, and then my dad, like, he's African American, but he has like Native American in him. I hate that Native American shit. I hate it because it just gives, you hate yourself so much that you'll say anything not to be black. That's what it gives. Could that person be partially Native American? Sure. But the truth is, as an African American, you could be a little bit of anything, because we won't get into history. I'll leave that alone. Just the way she said it was just like, I see who you are, Monica. I see you, girl. And it's not a good thing. And I see you. So, yeah, this episode is getting good.